This guy's been stoned since the 3rd grade. Yes?
Yeah, I'm registered in this class.
What class?
This is U.S. history. I see the globe right over there.
Really?
Hey. May I come in?
Oh, please! I get so lonely when I hear that 3rd attendance bell ring and all my kids are not here.
Sorry I'm late. It's just like this new schedule's totally confusing. Hey, I know that dude.
Mr. Spicoli.
It's the name they gave me. Hey, you're ripping my card.
Yeah.
Hey, bud, what's your problem?
No problem at all. I think you know where the front office is.
You dick!
Welcome to Misfit Apparitions, the podcast. I'm Don.
And I'm Ernest.
Thank you for joining us as we talk about locations we've investigated that are known for paranormal activity, as well as other subjects related to the field. Be sure to check us out at misfitapparitions.com and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel with the handle at Misfit Apparitions. Listen to the podcast on our website, our YouTube channel, or wherever podcasts can be found. If you enjoy the podcast, please give us a review, a like, or a thumbs up, and spread the word about us. We appreciate it as it helps the podcast get recognized. If you have any comments, concerns, or questions, please drop us an email at mawpod@misfitapparitions.com or ask us directly from a social media platform that you feel comfortable using. So here we are, Ernest, the last podcast of the season.
That it is.
So what's been going on? We got the Weens are out of school. We are running the schools this summer, so beware.
We've got a lot of work ahead of us at work, but yeah, you know.
Yeah, we got a trip coming up in a couple months, and we've got a birthday as well next month.
Yeah.
Location to be determined, but hopefully all 5 of us can get together and beat the crap out of each other.
Oh, that'd be fun. It's besides Mike, I mean, we haven't seen Crystal and Sergio in a long time.
Yeah, I miss those guys. It's been, I don't know, last time, Yorktown, right? Since last time we saw them.
Yeah.
So,
Yorktown.
if you're listening, Crystal and Sergio, why? Why did you guys leave? No, just kidding. I'm glad things are working out for you, and we look forward to seeing you next month. So, besides that, the Stars are still in the hockey running for the Stanley Cup, right?
Yeah, they've got they got a playoff game tonight, and then hopefully they win. Continuing Game 7 will be Wednesday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Has that ever happened where a team's like down?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I know when they went down 3-0 in the series, I was pretty much done. I was like,
you were like,
they fought hard these last 2 games, so they won. So see what happens tonight.
We'll see what happens. I guess if it was meant to be, it was meant to be.
Yep.
Okay, so, before we get into the podcast, there's something I want to talk about, if that's okay. I want to change gears and talk about something that we all once associated with smiles and laughters, and it pains me to talk about this, but, for the past few years, the clowns, yes, clowns have become a pathetic class of chest-pumping micropeens in big shoes. What do you think?
I agree. Yeah.
I believe we can safely say the clowns have taken over the circus. But it's funny to watch how the clowns run the circus as the junior clowns try to keep their big top from falling down around them. Which leads me to wonder what happened to the ringmaster. And for some multicolored, round, red nose, white glove, bow tie, polka dot hat, bugle horn reason, they become impetuously obsessed with zones. WTFFF.
Yes.
I guess it's still enjoyable to watch them run around like they're in a sped up Benny Hill skit. Ah, the clowns.
Send in the clown.
Well, that's all we wanted to say. Beware of the clowns out there, listeners. They can be anywhere. Take it from us. We actually know a couple. All right. You know who you are. Or don't you? In this final episode of our first season, we're going to talk about, without a doubt, the scariest location in the state of Texas and the scariest place we've ever been to, and which also, without any doubt, had the most lasting effect on us. That place is the abandoned Yorktown Memorial Hospital. But before we dive into a discussion on what the team experienced, and it's quite a bit, let's do some history, starting with the town itself. Prior to its incorporation in 1871, Yorktown began as a settlement in 1846 during the first year of Texas's admittance to the Union as its 28th state. The town was named in honor of Captain John York, who received acres of land in the Yorktown Creek area for his military contributions that included the 1835 Siege of Bear. The town additionally owes its founding to businessman Charles Eckert, who also participated in Texas's independence from Mexico. Sadly, both gentlemen's lives ended before Yorktown's incorporation. John York was killed in a battle with Indians in 1848, and Charles Eckert contracted yellow fever in Central America in 1852 and died at sea while returning to the U.S. Yorktown's growth included its first school in 1853 and first church in 1857. A Catholic church opened its doors in 1867, while the Lutherans opened theirs in 1872. The town's history museum was once known as the Eckert Store and is listed on the National Register. In 1951, a part of the Roman Catholic Church, the Felician Sisters, founded a hospital dedicated to the fallen soldiers of World War II. It was named Yorktown Memorial Hospital. Its 30,000 square feet contained a main floor, a full basement, a chapel, living space on the second floor, and a third-floor apartment/observation tower. Yorktown Memorial Hospital's history began in March 1949, when its association sought out bids for the concrete and masonry hospital, and combined with local and state government aid, opened in 1951. The 27-bed facility continued operations for 35 years until the combination of an occupancy decline due to a new facility opening up in the nearby town of Cuero and the financial distress caused by inadequate Medicare payments closed Yorktown Memorial Hospital's doors on November 30, 1986. In 1989, Skyline 24-Hour Club Incorporated of Travis County purchased the property. It then became known as the Skyline Alcohol and Drug Treatment Center for about a year before the property's doors closed for good. Ownership of the property changed hands many times thereafter until being purchased by Joanne Rivera, who also owned San Antonio's Victoria's Black Swan Inn, another venue known to be steeped in paranormal activity. Claims of up to 2,000 deaths inside the hospital helped fuel the general public's curiosity about what went on inside, as well as an aging doctor named Leon Nowierski, who reportedly botched a thyroid operation leading to his patient's death, and a double murder in its basement. Countless numbers of paranormal investigators and psychics claim a variety of spirits reside within the hospital, and that is easily expected in a setting like this. In researching Dr. Leon Nowierski, I could not confirm the claim made against him in the death of his patients. And although I could locate no published evidence to support the double homicide in the basement, I was surprised at the ChatGPT results when I inquired about the murders, as it confirmed it did happen and a man served time for the crime. However, the name of the man was not available. Where this information came from, I have no idea. I should note that I sent an email to the DeWitt County Sheriff's Department seeking confirmation of these murders, but they have not responded. Any information that portrays Yorktown Memorial Hospital in a negative light is very difficult to locate, or, as I have heard some suggest, could have been covered up by the Catholic Church. I am not suggesting that at all. I am just relaying what's out there. What I find most fascinating, and what is not spoken about, the cage cell in the basement. Why is it there? When did it arrive? What was it used for? I could not find answers to any of these questions. But very recently, while looking at photos from Yorktown's museum, there's a very similar, if not exact, duplicate of that cage cell on display in the museum. I do not want to speculate about any of this. That is not what this podcast is about. But the cage cell is a mystery.
Now let's talk about the supposed spirits still roaming inside the hospital. Dr. Leon Nowinski, a man who practiced medicine into his 90s and at one time held the oldest medical license in Texas. Stacy, an 8-year-old girl smitten by Dr. Nowinski, who gifted her the book, The Pokey Little Puppy, supposedly her favorite. And there is Doug Richards, an equipment mechanic who supposedly died on site. TJ, a young man seeking help when the facility was the Alcohol and Drug Treatment Center, who died of a drug overdose outside the back door when his bell ringing went unanswered. The Felician sisters, or nuns, who continue roaming the halls looking for trouble and act violently against those who have tattoos. The basement's double homicide, where the stories of a love triangle differ. In one, the triangle involves a female nurse and 2 male patients. In the other is a female employee, a male coworker, and a male patient. In both, however, it is the female who is stabbed to death while a struggle ensues between the 2 males, leaving one also being stabbed to death. A former employee has stated that it was not a knife used in the murders, but a firearm.
Okay, so this is a very interesting place.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to talk about our experience there.
Yeah.
So when we arrived, we all came in separate vehicles and met at a Dairy Queen.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see Shannon wearing our colors. That was nice. Shannon, if you're listening, thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
It was Crystal and Sergio and Alyssa. Mike was there. Matt was there. Karen showed up, the last person. And we were at Dairy Queen just killing time. And
Mike's niece.
Mike's niece was there too. Jenna, I hope I'm saying that right. I think that's her name. I was not feeling good, so I don't even think I think I might have had, I don't remember what it was, but I know I had an ice cream afterward, and I think that sugar rush helped me. I was once, I think maybe it was a sweet I had first and then dairy, so never ever mix dairy and sugar.
Yeah. No, I think I had a burger and fries, just something plain, simple.
Yeah, I didn't have a stomach. I was still dealing with whatever it was I was dealing. So yeah, we got there, and then we went over there, and of course, Lady Ariel was itching to get out of her case and fly around, and so she did some aerial photography for us. And I think we walked to the dollar store and picked up some balloons.
Yeah, that was interesting because we had those light up cat balls.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea was to put those in a balloon in the hallways anywhere and just see if they light up during the night, which they did.
Yeah, that's a great idea because it gives it a little bit more, it makes it a little bit larger, so the ball's more sensitive, like the balloon's much bigger than the wall, so
right.
Attach the balloon. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that idea.
Yeah, when we did the later area, I didn't realize there was a cemetery in the back.
Yeah, that was interesting, and Lady Ariel almost crashed.
Oh yeah.
on the observation thing when she was flying there, and the controller, whoever was controller, that was me, got a little too close to that door, and had that happen, we would have never seen Lady Ariel again.
Yeah.
So she's had a couple close calls in our trips, but
I know when we showed up, I think we were the first ones there, and just getting out of the car and walking towards the steps, that was, I don't know, it hit me like, wow.
Makes it real.
As this is, it's the building that you see on TV, on different ghost,
And you see
it.
You
it's
see
like,
broken
whoa.
windows all around, and and the door's it's just held together by this chain.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kept closed by a chain. It's just, Very surreal, I think. And then
Yeah.
the guy, our caretaker, I think his name was Mike. I don't want to. I don't want to swear on the Bible that it is, but he came in and he let us in, and I remember. I think I went in behind him, and I could already tell this was not going to be an ordinary night for us. It was just so dark everywhere.
Yeah, and what was it, 6, 7?
When we got it, yeah, it was 7.
And it was already dark inside, so it was
Mm-hmm.
crazy.
It was a little nutty, and Mike. Let me just say, the caretaker. He probably just wanted to just tell us about it right there in the foyer, close to the door. He didn't really have any inkling of pursuing or going further and giving us any tour or anything like that.
No.
He only went to the chapel area because we asked about power. Like,
Yeah, I think that's as far as he went when he showed up. To, I thought we were going to get a tour, but he just gave us the extension cord and okay, see y'all later.
yeah, he ran out of there. No, he didn't run out of there. He was a nice person. He told us some stories, and then his wife used to do that, but because of things that have happened to her in that place, she doesn't ever do that anymore. So he does it.
Right.
So yeah, we're walking through there, and when we're all by ourselves, of course, the first thing we do is set up our angels or our surveillance cameras and find places for that, and we're just all pretty much business for a while.
I was surprised that some of the cameras that we used stretched that far out.
Yeah, what's 160 feet of cable that we have for each camera, and unfortunately, we did not set one up inside the cage cell area because we went one direction, and it wasn't until later on that we realized if we would have gone this direction, we would have fit because we did not know the layout of the basement. When I first went down the basement with everybody, I got lost. That place is a maze, especially in the dark. Even with a flashlight, it's just difficult to navigate. I don't know anything. You lose sense of there's no light, there's no windows. Well, there might be a couple, but yeah, you get lost down there.
Yeah, I think there was a few times when I didn't have the flashlight when we were setting up, and I was hitting chairs, wheelchairs, and regular chairs.
Definitely the darkest place we've been to. Oak Park Hotel was probably the darkest before that. But this one...
Yeah, this one, no power.
Absolutely no power, no running water, and the only place we've been to where there was no forms to sign.
That's right.
We usually have to sign waivers, but it's pretty much, this is how you lock the door. And it wasn't even a normal way to lock. Just hook it here and it'll be fine. Don't use the third link, use the second link.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It was weird. So then when we got down to business, we all split up. I kind of went on my own for a while and sat in the chapel and was shooting video, and there's noise coming from outside because it's still the time of day where you might get kids running around outside because there was a house next door, and so you kind of hear that, and you learn to filter all that out. But sitting in the chapel and I'm shooting video of the organ, and then I look at the battery meter, and it went to like empty and full, empty, full, empty, full, a couple times, and I might have told you about it. You were up in the balcony.
Yes, I was up. Karen and I were upstairs on the balcony.
Mm-hmm. Anything happened out there?
I just felt uneasy.
Yeah.
That was the place where they said the nuns, if you had tattoos, that they would.
Well, no wonder you were uneasy because you're loaded with tattoos.
But it was just a feeling I had. I don't know. You felt like somebody was right behind you.
Do you know if Karen had tattoos too?
I don't know if she does.
But nothing happened to you, like scratches or anything up there?
No.
So I'm wondering if you're alone, maybe you have a better chance. I don't know. Maybe because she's a woman. I don't know. Then I got up on the pulpit, and I just had to do it. I just was inspired to replay the scene from Pulp Fiction where Samuel L. Jackson recites Ezekiel 25:17. So I did it at the pulpit, and I got a little animated. And I think you had told me you were you were expecting something, you kept turning around, or you went to the camera.
Right. Yeah. Well, when you were reading it, and I turned around, I went through the hallway, went past the doors, which is the second floor, and I was just filming, and just while you were reading, just to see if anything would come out or see,
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. I mean, because when you were reading, that was a loud. I mean, you were loud.
That was
You let it
pretty loud.
known.
Yeah, I wanted everybody in the whole hospital to hear me. Wake up. Yeah, so I don't believe anything happened. I couldn't tell there. And then you mentioned that one of the balloon lights actually went off.
Yeah, we set one of the balloons with the light up ball, in the between the benches, and it's like the whole night that one just kept going off. Just and there was one time we were all in there, and it was going off. It was just lighting up. And I remember when we left. At one point, we left the chapel, and I had turned around, and it stopped moving. Or what I'm trying to say, it stopped lighting.
Stop lighting. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm sure all of that's on our videos that we're reviewing. So we then went to an area of the hospital called the operating room area, and it was myself and Shannon and you and Karen walked in this there, and I think actually Shannon laid on the gurney.
Yeah, she did. She hopped up there, and she started getting some feelings and seeing things in her mind of things that were going on, and I think her and Shannon and Karen were sharing their thoughts, and you'll see me that I'm filming down the hallway, and Karen is, I don't know how far away she's from me, but I felt something touch my left arm, and I turned to Karen. I said, "Did you touch me?" She said, "No." So I felt the touch.
Mm-hmm.
So that was interesting while they were doing their little banter of what they hear, what they're seeing.
Yeah, I was surprised that Shannon got up on there, and she was even saying something like, "Well, we're kind of a little bit taunting the Dr. Nowinski." Yeah, but she was like, "I'm just gonna get on here."
Yeah.
And going back to the church, I kind of expected Karen to get inside the coffin that was in the front of the church. Yeah, there was a real coffin there.
Yeah. And unfortunately, there's nothing in it.
Thank goodness there's nothing in it. So then we go, let's see, we had an experience in the hallway leading to the operating room. This was late at night, and I remember you were sitting in a chair, I was sitting in a chair in the hallway, and I just heard like a machine shop noise, like metal scraping metal kind of thing, and that was just, what is that?
I know, you told me about it. You could hear it very faint, but you heard it. And I think in those rooms that we were sitting in that hallway, there's a lot of old rusty equipment in there. Of course, we couldn't go in there because it was blocked off. You couldn't.
So my thinking is maybe there's just so much energy in this place. It's still there. It's just interesting.
Yeah. The other thing is, after a while, Karen had came down the same hallways as us, and had been sitting there for a while. So I told her to go ahead and sit down. And as soon as she sat down, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes after that, is we heard knocking. And there was a door. It was like a closet door, and we heard knocking on there. And I was like, "Oh no!" She got up real quick, and we kind of tried to crack the closet a little bit, the door a little bit more, but it couldn't. It wouldn't budge. But there was just boxes in there. And then after that, we kept hearing noises in those rooms there, but of course we couldn't go in because it was caged off. But that was an interesting. As soon as she came in, heard knocking.
And things moving.
Yep. Yeah.
So down in the basement, there's of course this room where these double homicide occurred. There is blood on the wall, right? There was some blood.
Very faint.
It's a giant boiler room, and Mike even said, "Oh, we should take a group photo in here." And I thought that was a great idea. Let's get Lady Ariel to just fly around in here and take a picture of us there. but we never did that, and it was just creepy. It's like kind of like an almost dirt floor. It was just really bizarre. And the windows, being in the basement, they're closer to the ceiling. Some were broken and up and missing glass, and just a place. Yeah, it was weird. And we did have a camera set up there, and we'll talk about what that camera picked up a little later. But going to the where the cage cell is, which nobody talks about. I don't understand this. It's
Right.
I don't know why it's there, but we had some we had a successful Estes session there. Crystal, everybody was there except Karen and Ernest, and I had the radio in and say, hey, you need to come down here because there's a lot of stuff going on in the basement.
Yeah. I think when I had walked through the basement already, and I think because there was times that you had to get out because it was the smell.
Right.
So I think that's what when you were telling me the Estes method was going, I was outside taking a breather because I just couldn't breathe anymore. It's just smell of death, as you say.
Yeah, Mike had pointed that out in there while the session was going on. For Mike to point that out, I was like, does anybody smell that? It smells like death. And sure enough, you could smell it. But the funny thing is, it went away, and then it came back again. So I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But Crystal was having a good session. Jenna, she got really into the whole thing.
Yeah.
The whole experience. I think she really had a good time, and she was communicating left and right. The REM pod was going nuts. It was actually making a continuously tone, which I'd never seen that do before. And there was brand new batteries in it, but it just stayed with the tone. I didn't understand why that was happening. And Crystal was taking pictures, and everybody was asking questions, and sometimes they would answer, and I think we got a name. I don't remember what that name was, but it's on camera. And then when you arrived, you got in the cage.
Yeah.
And you had an interesting experience. Well, first, when you went into the cage, Crystal took a photo of you in the cage, and there was something that looked like it was in white, or it was like a smoke thing or something that was there beside you.
Yeah, I think she actually posted that picture on her Facebook, but it's I wasn't getting anything,
Right.
And then what I was trying to do is just in my mind just say, I was calling it out, come sit next to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know until we were driving back home is when you told me that she took a picture with that white mist.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told you what I was trying to do when I was in there.
Mm.
So that's kind of creepy.
Is that where you actually heard?
No, that was before. That was my first walk through the basement where we found the cell, and I had the handheld camera.
Mm-hmm.
And with a handheld camera, there's like a little sink in there, and as I was filming and turning, you actually hear somebody brushing their teeth.
Yeah, that's bizarre.
That's crazy.
That's just. Is anybody here with me?
Yeah. Hold on, let me brush my teeth first.
Yeah. What toothpaste are you using? Is it Colgate? Crest? Oh, Sensodyne. I see. Okay.
The other thing when we walked in is Karen and I came to the session, and we smelled pickles.
Well, that's formaldehyde.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know that until Mike
I didn't
said
know that either. Mike had said that, and it's like, oh, that's just nasty. But yeah,
Ugh.
The smell was like a big thing there.
Yeah, you had to get out
Ooh,
every once in a while just to breathe.
And then you were in the labor room.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I was in the labor room where they sanitize the utensils and stuff they use for, I guess, the babies.
Mm-hmm.
And as I was walking through, I just felt this cold breeze because I was filming, felt the cold breeze on the right side of my arm. And Karen wasn't with me. She was in the other room. So there was nothing there or anybody there that would pass by me to feel that cold air. Like, when someone walks by, you can feel like a brush of air go by. But I was just by myself. So that was interesting. And I don't remember, but when we finally bring our investigation out, when that cold air that I felt, something made a noise.
Okay.
So...
Lots to review here.
Yeah.
We're telling you all about this stuff. We haven't really delved
this is
into
just
it.
our experience just walking
Mm-hmm.
around.
And then there's a place on the second floor. It's a library. I think it's a really nice. It's comfortable. It's got a couple couches. It just looks like one of the most livable rooms in the hospital. And I hung out there with Matt and Mike, and I remember sitting there. I don't know when it was, but I heard something. And I asked Mike if he heard it, and he heard it, but I don't remember what that was. But it's on audio and video, I'm sure. But yeah, that was interesting to hear that. But then we went out there probably about 3 o'clock in the morning, witching hour time, and Crystal was going to read The Pokey Little Puppy, the book that was given to Stacy by Dr. Leon Nowierski, and supposedly her favorite book. So, and man, it was a long reading. I thought it was long reading. We were just sitting there, and we had a ball in a balloon in the front, and I think that was going off while she was reading it.
Yeah, I was in the hallway. Actually, I was in the hallway because everybody was sitting down in the library, so
there was
there was no space. So I was actually in the hallway filming, and yeah, there was a lot of shuffling going on, like somebody walking, and we were all in there, so it was not one of us walking around.
Yeah, we were all in there for that. And then people started getting tired. Of course, that's expected. We had guests, and I think 2 of them left to the nearby hotel, and then Mike's niece left as well, and Crystal, Sergio, and Alyssa started calling it a night. I guess it was maybe after 4, and they slept in the truck parked outside. So
yeah,
it was just leaving just Matt, Mike, you, and me in the building, and we were kind of getting tired. There wasn't really much else to do, so Mike just cocooned himself in a sleeping bag on one
he did
on one couch, and I kind of sat on the other couch across the way in the foyer in a sit-up position, but because of the smell was so bad, I had to put everything I was wearing to cover my nose and mouth because it was just so bad.
One thing we left out is the priest room.
Oh yeah, see that I didn't go to that one, and I wish I did.
Well, when we go back in December, you're gonna go. That's gonna be your first stop.
So tell us about the priest's bedroom.
That bedroom, it was creepy, but he had everything there. He's got a bed, closet, shower, bathroom. He's got his own little living room space area, table, chairs, and he's got a back door. So it was interesting to be in that room. I didn't feel comfortable in there, but yeah, there's some things that I've already heard on video. I won't mention it, but the other thing that was funny is that you could hear cows. You hear the mew,
Not inside the building.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was coming from outside.
Outside, yeah.
But I was like, you'll hear me on the video, like, is that a cow?
We might have interrupted a cowvention or something like that. We might not have known that
I didn't
was scheduled.
see a barn or a farm.
Yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe the neighbors just had
There's a cemetery back there, but that's I was like, where's that cow sound coming from?
Just wandering around, lost.
Yep.
So, Mike's skepticism, being the most skeptic in the team, he told us that he was walking towards, and I want to say, the operating room area, and he heard something or sensed something, but to force Mike to change direction and go back the way he came is something.
Yeah.
And he said, nope. So he heard something. I don't know what he thought he heard, but it made him turn around and go back the opposite direction.
Yeah, he told me, he's like, I don't usually turn around. He's all, but for some reason something told me don't. He said he heard something, and he just turned around and went the other way. That's weird.
Okay, so I got to ask this question. Did you hear your name at all?
Yes.
Okay, tell us. First and last, or just first?
Just the first names,
Okay.
and it started from the chapel area when I was upstairs. That was the first Ernest I heard, and a lot of in betweens, and also in the priest's bedroom.
Okay,
So
new listeners, this guy, we've been to about 10 places since the team's formed, and Every single place we go, this guy's name is called. I've heard it sometimes, but even so, more mysterious is his last name is called, because you don't use last names out in the
No.
field. So that's just even weirder.
Yeah, it's some. When I was there at that location, won't mention the location, and it said first and last name, I kind of got excited. But then all these places we've been to and calling my name out, I'm like, wait a minute, why?
Right? And it's two syllables. It takes a little bit more energy for a spirit to say two syllables, I would think. I could be wrong. Okay, and then it came to morning time. I probably slept a couple hours, got up, and so, okay, it's time to tear stuff down. And it's still completely dark in this place, and I've just got a little flashlight. But walking through the place, going to get all the cameras, was just hearing things, hearing shuffling. I actually felt touched on my arm, but it's like, what are you going to do? It's, we have to get out. I wasn't going to run out screaming. You just got to get your stuff and get out and say, okay, leave me alone. And we're leaving. Just give us a little bit of time. We'll be gone.
Yeah, that was interesting. I feel bad because I actually woke you up and I said, Don, give me your keys.
Oh, yeah.
I slept in the car because I couldn't. The smell.
The smell, yes.
I couldn't do it anymore.
Go to the car.
You want to say what I saw on the camera when all of y'all?
Yes, I did say. Okay, so Ernest is usually the last one to go to sleep, so he watches the surveillance cameras and that camera setup that we had in the boiler room. Tell us what you saw.
A family of the raccoons. They were huge, dude. They were just huge. I mean, they're eating something. They're eating good.
They're eating good.
Yeah.
Did they have luggage with them?
I think so. Actually, I think one of them was working out with some weights.
Was he walking around with dumbbells?
Yes. It was a huge raccoons, boy.
So you said you saw one, and then you saw.
Yeah, I saw one go by, and I was like, "What?"
He was the scout, and then the rest of them came.
And then when he came back, he brought the group.
Right.
Like, come on.
Then one of them's pushing another one in a wheelchair. The other one's got the suitcases.
It's like when it's like a military move. You send in the guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, come on, let's go. They all follow.
He's giving the signals.
He signals.
With
Yeah,
his little claws.
Yep.
So when you said that, that's when I said, I ain't going down to get that camera. Hell no.
Thank you, Sergio, for that.
One is fine, but like a whole family, no. I don't have I don't have protection. I don't have weapons on me. Nothing.
Nope.
I don't know who went down there and got that last
Sergio.
camera.
That's why I said thank you, Sergio, because I didn't go.
Did he know?
Yeah, he knew.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Sergio.
Because Mike would have gone, but I think he wouldn't.
Mike would have gone and kicked ass.
Yeah. Our ninja.
It would have been a Royal Rumble down in the basement. So when you said that, I started thinking maybe that's the smell we heard. But why would a smell come and go and then come back again? I don't know. It's usually when something's dead, it's just the smell just lingers.
Yeah.
So this was a smell that had a clock and it came on and it turned off.
It's like it just brushes you and then it leaves and then it comes back.
Very strange. Okay, so what else? We did go up to the third floor apartment, which was the freakiest thing because it was so tiny.
Yeah, it was like you go through the door and there's like a little living space and I think there was a bathroom.
Yeah, there was a shower back there.
Yeah.
That's it.
So that was it. Yeah.
And no mention about that at all anywhere about who lived in this place.
No, I only read that it was a caretaker back in the day.
Yeah.
I
thought it was the name Doug Williams, but I could not find anything about Doug Williams.
It was just when you read stuff about Yorktown, you don't know
it was hard to find anything. Yeah. So we do want to go back this December. I know when we left, I told Ernest I'm never going back there again.
Yeah, I felt like I was in a daze when I came back. I didn't have the energy to do much. And
thank goodness it was spring break. That we
thank goodness spring break and Bella was with her mom, so I was like,
it was exhausting.
Yeah,
very exhausting. And then that whole not wanting to go back, it went away. And then the urge to go back said, okay, let's go back.
I want to go back because just our experiences that we all had and the little review that I've done a little bit on that is just like, wow, this is the place.
Yeah.
It's real.
It's been the most costly for us to go to, that's for sure, but it's also the largest place we've been to.
Yeah.
And the creepiest and all that jazz. But definitely calling for another visit, which is most likely going to happen in December. I think everybody would be game for that.
Yeah, it's just it's just too hot in Texas.
Yeah, you do. Going in, whoever goes in July,
yeah,
you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
Not in this state.
Wait for cool days.
All right, well, that's that episode. But before we say so long until September, September, we won't be back until then. We want to thank all of you who took time to listen to our little show. We started this almost 7 months ago and really had no idea how it was going to work, but we were driven to make Misfit Apparitions more than just a team going out to locations and investigating the paranormal. I personally, and I think Ernest as well, listen to many paranormal podcasts, and most of them are pretty good.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. We hope ours will be one you continue listening to when we return September the 5th. And looking back as we begin our 3rd year next month, we humbly appreciate all our friends, followers, and subscribers on social media. All of you are equally important to us, and we continue growing, and you have our gratitude. So over the next couple of months, we will be releasing our investigation videos, and we will be heading to Gainesville, Texas in July for an overnight investigation of Hill House Manor. So until next time, keep spreading the word about us, fellow misfits. Remember, it's not always the things in your life that matter, it's the memories. Cherish those and those you make them with.
See you next season on the podcast. Goodbye.
Hello, and welcome to Misfit Apparitions, the podcast. Thank you for being here. I'm Don.
And I'm Ernest.
And we are your hosts for another journey to historical locations known in paranormal circles. Start over. God dang it. Okay.
Bloopers.
All right.
Take two.
Take two. Would you gentlemen care to order your dinners?
Bet, babe. Side a piece of the Polden. Drink side, run the Java.
Look at here. I can increase the chomped outside gross.
That's a hard one.
That's a hard one.
28.
That's a tie. 29, the new record. And he's still going. I thought that record was gonna last forever. Most folks just don't seem to have a taste for testicles no more. Testicles?
Yes, ma'am. Sheep balls.
That's right.
Tell them why yours is so tasty.
Well, the trick is, you got to clip them off way at the top. Dang it, I did it wrong.
But I couldn't have anybody see my face, Steven. Come on. Tonight, I felt something deep inside me.
He is me and I am you.
And I'm about to woot you all up.
Damn it.
You just said what?
I did not say what. I said you.
That's what I'm asking you.
And you is answering.
Shut up.
Yes.
You.
Oh, shit.
You gotta wait for me to say you.
Yeah, I got jumped the gun. Shit. Our microphone, one of our other microphones, just suddenly decided to die right before we're recording this. And we are recording this in a unique place. We're not going to reveal what that is because we may get in trouble. Anyway, let's move on.
It was a different bell.
What the hell is that?
I don't know. Cut.